Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to everybody that is watching currently our channel on YouTube. We have Facebook, LinkedIn, and several other places that we are currently streaming live. And thank you very much for attending this L&D engagement session by DRB-HICOM University of Automotive Malaysia Technical Training Institute. And today we are going to share on the challenges and opportunities for learning and development in 2022. So how are you? I hope that everybody that is watching this session is really fine, stay safe, and whatever that you are doing today is, we wish you a greater success. And we are going to have our session for 1.5 hours. And together with me, I have here, let me introduce to you, there, my friend, Encik Nur Iskandar, our L&D specialist, FJV Holdings. Give a big applause to him.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Encik Iskandar, for attending this session. And we have been collaborating and discussing on L&D challenges, opportunities for some time, quite some time.
Correct.
And today we are going to explore further on it. So we are going to have more insights, more ideas, and how we can make ourselves better as L&D practitioners.
All right. Well,
Yeah, thank you very much for everybody that is attending this session. I'm not sure how many is it now, but I can see it's around 21 is live in my eCam Live. I'm using eCam Live right now. And we are streaming from several places. We are in YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook as well. And some of you have shared the link to everybody. You need to register so that we can keep track who's going to attend this session. So, Encik Iskandar, we are going to have our session in two parts. The first part, which be that I'm going to share on how TTI could support your L&D growth in 2022. And then after following that, that particular session, we are going also to have some interactive discussion with Encik Iskandar. So as this is online, so we would like you to also put your comments and also chats and also your questions in any platform that you are in now. Either it is in YouTube, it is in Facebook, LinkedIn, because we can see everybody here. For example, that's Shahizan. We can see here Siti Nur Sakina, Asmawati, and everybody. So we can look into how can we make our things better as L&D practitioner. So as a start, let me start the session, Encik Iskandar.
All
right. Thank you very much, Encik Iskandar. And the first part would be about how TTI, how we can support your learning and development growth in 2022. Looking into 2022, the challenges of COVID-19, recently we have that flooding issues, which many people, many friends affected by flood. So we need to find ways and how we can do better in things, especially in learning and development. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Rosna, for attending this session as well. We hope that everybody is getting better and better day by day. All right. As I've mentioned to you, this session will be co-host or co-facilitate by myself. My name is Ahmad Zulkarnain. For those who are new or just knew me, my name is Ahmad Zulkarnain, the Senior Head of Technical Training Institute of the DRB-HICOM University of Automotive Malaysia. And currently I'm based in Pekan, doing training. So managing training, heading training. That's some interesting part that we can look into. Okay. Waalaikumsalam. Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam. Thank you very much. And we have also Cik Nur Iskandar. He's one of my sifus. Sifus banyak kan. one of my seafoods in L&D. So seafoods ni, he always play low, but he has crystal inside his mouth. So whatever that he has in his mouth, in his head, everything is going to be shared with us by today. And I believe that all of us will understand about that. Learning and development is very important, not only for a unit, but we need to play our role as a business partner as well. Okay, the first part is about Technical Training Institute. So we are looking into TTI, short form of Technical Training Institute in DRB-HICOM U, and some of our services, our solutions for you. So, Technical Training Institute, we are looking into not only technical, but because we are in DRB-HICOM University of Automotive Malaysia, so this Technical Training Institute is supposed to be a combination of technical and also soft skill programs. We are looking into how can we we call it to sync. Recently, I've shared with our faculties, with our lecturers. So we are looking into to sync. To sync, the two TO, just an acronym, and sync. So what would be sync is all about? It's about the first three SYN, sync. So the first one is synergize. In TTI, we are looking into our level best in synergize with people, synergize and partner with any train providers, any companies in getting the learning and development features, learning and development elements inside their organization to be enhanced, to be improved, and to make them a better unit or department. So we are looking into how can we synergize with them. We are not looking into compete with everybody or anybody. We are looking into how can we make things better and we make things together. So that's the first part. The first SYN is to synergize. Number two, we are also looking into how can we synchronize the direction. I believe some of the organization is already under HRD Corp levy, so you need also to understand the limitation that they have, the HRD Corp has. So we need to synchronize whatever that we understand about the industry in training and development, industry in learning and development consultancy, together with what you want. So it is about synchronization. It's not about what I can provide to you or what are the solutions that we are going to provide to you. It's about you as the customer, as the client. So how can we synchronize our understanding? How can we synchronize our arrangement so that whatever that we do, we are being synchronized? And the last, which is the C, cuba teka apa dia? I know some of you knows about it. C is about collaborate. Yeah, collaborate. I'm giving this a horn. So collaborate is saying about how can we collaborate with people. It is not only because we as training provider, we are looking into collaboration. We are looking into partnership. We are looking into how can we enhance our branding better in day by day and make people to be as one. Okay. So these are the message that we want to bring in TTI to our friends outside there. And looking at that, we are looking into not only one training solution, we are providing you 7 training solutions. Yeah, 7 solutions for your L&D growth. It's looking at how we can serve you better, how can we provide you an avenue, a platform, a solution that can solve your problem. It's the issue of solving your problems, solving your issues. So that's our expertise. We have people, we have resources, we have our friends, we have our team that are going also to explore on how we can provide solutions to you. So we are looking, even though we are in DRB-HICOM University of Automotive Malaysia, we are not only looking into we are not only looking into DRB-HICOM group. We also looking into external companies, external parties, individuals that wants to develop their capabilities, competencies, and also capacity. So that's our role. So we are providing you with 7 solutions, and we hope that in year 2022, we could be your partner, we could be your solution provider in training, development, and also consultancy. So these are the seven solutions that we are providing to you. It's pictures, but I'm going to put the words inside there. So the first one is that we are looking into customized solutions. So customized solutions means we customize the programs for you, and we are looking into how can we do public and also in-house training better. So we have our micro credential, we have our micro learning programs, micro learning series ready for you so that you can explore. If you cannot attend 2 days program, you can opt for 4-hour program, 2-hour session. So that's the first part, which is customized solution, and this is related to training programs. So we have, as I've mentioned, we have a public training program, and also we have our in-house training programs, and we are doing also micro credential. Make sure that whatever programs that we have is we put weightage inside there, so that once you attend the micro credential programs, you are going to have a certain number of credit. So what is the purpose of the credit? You can use that credit to transfer and to use that credits and explore into to further your study in diploma, degree, master, or also PhD. Either that credit can be transferable, and you can reduce your credit hours in your current engagement for faculties. So we are working with faculties. We are working into with our partners in getting micro credential programs more and more for you. And we also have micro learning. Micro learning means normal training programs is around 2-3 days, right? And now we are providing 2 to 4 hours per day. So you are going to have that flexibility. You are going to have that leniency, so that you can attend the training program in the morning and you can continue working whatever that you need to do in the afternoon. So that's what customized solution is all about. And number 2 is about technical programs. Technical is more specific to technical. I'm going to share after this. So we have technical programs. We have also learning digitalization. Currently, we have our own CTI learning management system. We have some programs inside there. We are looking also trainers and facilitators. So that's why we are collaborating with some of our partners. And one of our partners is Neo One Associates that is partnering with us for trainers and facilitators. So we are looking into how we can enhance and upskill our trainers. And the next is about talent development. Talent development, I'm going to share with you about talent development as well. We have our School of Leadership, and finally we have our venue. So we have our own venue right now at the Academy Port Dickson. So if you want to go to Port Dickson, you want to have a retreat, a program, or anything that you want to have in a resort sort facility, so you can have Academy as one of your options. Okay, let me go one by one, and I'm going to share with you a moment about each of these solutions and how it can help you better. So at the end of this, I'm going to also give a link to you so that you can click through the link, you can type the link, and you can communicate with us. You can also highlight your interest, your concerns in L&D, and we are very glad and happy to help you. So the first part is about customized solution. This program, we have 4 types of it, as I've mentioned: public training, 2 to 3 days, and in-house training, specific to a company. If you ABC Sdn Bhd, so we are doing for ABC Sdn Bhd only. So that's what we call as in-house training. We have that micro-credential program is about 3 to 6 months of program with assessment and also with approval from the Senate of the university. So it's a valid qualification. It's a valid program which each participants will be evaluated and being assessed. So it is not easy. However, it carry weightage compared to certificate of attendance. And we have also, I've mentioned, micro-learning series, which is a maximum of 4 hours for your flexibility. We are looking into how can we make our things agile and looking better. Our competencies, we are focusing at these three for some program, and we are looking also into leadership competencies. So now we have 3 and 4, 3 plus 1. Personal, business, and also digital. So based on these three, we come up with our programs in providing the public training program and also in-house training program for you. We have an extensive list of programs. For FY 2022, we have laid down 75 training programs. We have also laid down proposing and make ready of our proposals. It's ready for you at any point in time. If you want, we can just give it to you. Our in-house trainings of 36 trainings for in-house. We have also ready programs for you, micro-credential program, which is we have 6 micro-credential programs, and also it's also ready for you as well. We have micro-learning series programs, 31 training slots that we have prepared, and everything inside all of these 2020 training and also projections that we are looking at is going to be into our training calendar. So keep in touch with us, or if you are already in touch with us, just request our training calendar. We can provide to you our training calendar so that you can look into what are the training programs that are relevant. And most important is not only to attend the training program, look into which training program that is really can fit into your learning gap. So that is very important. So we don't want to do any training program. We want to do programs that can fill in your learning gap, competencies gap as well. So in a year 2022, we have ready 6 programs, three programs in January. So we have here writing workplace document, professional communications is in January 2022. We have also industry 4.0 essentials. So this is really a digital disruptive technologies and ecosystem, and this is in January 2022 as well. So all of our trainers are certified trainers and capable trainers to train on these subjects. This is in February. We have a developing high performance culture. So this is about culture. This is about developing how can we make our organization towards high performing culture, high performance in elements. So this program is very suitable for you, and we have designed it carefully for you. We have also emotional intelligence at the workplace, and these programs is in January. Surprisingly, when we look into emotional intelligence, we think that EI is not very important. I think so. But looking into the World Economic Forum, looking into the year 2025 skills requirements, emotional intelligence is one of the must-have critical skills that in any other people. So we are putting that into our pipeline in January 2022. We have also business image and social etiquette and personal grooming. Yes, we start with it, and it's in February 2022. Yeah, that price is for non-executive. We are looking into a best price for you as well. And the most famous program that we look into, bukan executive, non-executive, is aplikasi penyeliaan yang berkesan. It's about supervisory skills. And we believe that in any organization, you have non-executive, you have supervisors, and this program is very beneficial for you. And we provide a very comprehensive supervisory program level by level. So this is the first level, which is aplikasi penyeliaan yang berkesan. It's going to be conducted in bahasa Melayu. So that's the first part, which is the customized solution. And now, second is the Trainers and Facilitators Academy, our newborn baby of our solution, Trainers and Facilitators. So we have many trainers inside here, and I can see our trainers is popping up into their chats, and also it's like a reunion as well. So now, it is not a normal program. It's not just merely a TTT program. We are looking into how can we provide upskilling programs for trainers and also facilitators. I believe there is no organization is doing this at university level, and we are having that advantage because we have training institute and university in one place. So that's why we can look into how can we make our program comprehensive. We can make our program being provided with valid assessment. And we have graduated many of our participants on this nature of Trainers and Facilitators Academy. And if you are looking into this program to train your trainers, your internal trainers, and they have already got that TTT HRDC before, so this is a place which you can explore, and you can consider some options of this 7 laydown of programs, which is Train the Trainer program. We have certified virtual learning facilitators. I think this has been conducted more than 9 batches. Trainer upskilling short courses. So we have some short courses on trainers upskilling programs. Certified facilitative trainer. We have done this for, I think it's more than 6 months. 6 months program. So you can look into it, which we are not going to cram it into 1 or 2 days. Is a long learning process of becoming a facilitative trainer. Certified team building trainer, we are building it, and we are going to complete it by early of January. Certified debriefing, trainers face many challenges of conducting a debriefing session, and also certified facilitator. So these 7 programs we have laid down, and these are our plans for FY 2022. So there's a lot of options for you to consider looking into how we can make things better. I have one questions here, the supervisory online or offline. Both we can consider. Currently, we are looking into offline because looking into the perspective of non-executive challenges of them going to have issues of laptop and also accessing digital might be some issue. So we can do it offline. Nevertheless, if we look into demand, and demand says that they are considering online, so we can convert it into online at any point in time. So for January and February, it's online. So January and February is online, which means the aplikasi penyeliaan that I've mentioned is online, and might be we can consider moving forward after that is going to be offline. And next, technical division. Ni dah pergi kepada lebih technical ni kan. So technical, we have Academy Saga together with us. We have brought from Shah Alam to Pekan, and now we have Academy Saga. Maybe some of you is first known that recently just know today about Academy Saga. So Academy Saga is our program Sijil Kemahiran Malaysia, SKM2, SKM3, and also DKM Diploma Kemahiran Malaysia 4. So we have these 3 levels, and we are targeting for 25 per batch. And Academy Saga is looking into cars, kereta lah. And now we are also supporting we are preparing the automotive after sales programs for us to provide to our participants. Our next intake will be in July 2022, and if you have anybody that looking into certification, Sijil Kemahiran Malaysia, lepasan SPM, they are interested in automotive, this is the place for you to consider. And short courses, we have OSH courses, Occupational Safety and Health courses. We are looking into Safety and Health Coordinator and Safety and Health Officer certification program. And at the right-hand side, you have that the list of courses that we are having via, and it's online as well. So this is short courses on OSH. This is also our technical courses, which looking into our MBOT CPD courses or tailored or customized courses. We have 18 courses and mostly related to automotive. And if you are interested to attend, we can make this 2 to 3 days and you are going to get a certification on these courses under Kemahiran. It's not under JPK, but we are providing the certificate for skills on this program of list of courses. It's quite interesting. A certificate of in vehicle inspection, potentially you can work for Puspacom, so that's the way. And next, about learning digitalization. We have our current LMS, Learning Management System, currently running. We are collaborating with KPMG on this, and it's about 75 ringgit for the DRB-HICOM group, which quite a special price for the DRB-HICOM group, and external is around 140 per module, so that's special price as well. If you look into the contents, we are using SCOM5 format, which is not just a PowerPoint, it's a interactive LMS, interactive e-learning program. We have anti-bribery and corruption, etc. Everything related to anti-bribery and corruption until enterprise risk management. And in 2022, we have new arrival programs, same as a collaboration with KPMG as well. In Bahasa Melayu, anti rasuah dan korupsi di Malaysia, privacy data, pencegahan pengubahan wang haram, and also sustainability awareness in English as well. That's in English, kan? So that's our looking into FY 2022, and one more module that we have added, which is on cyber security elements. Cyber security is not only one. We have 14 topics, 14 modules in cyber security elements. You can pick and choose any one of it, and it's 2 modules for one price, which is 140, a minimum of 2 modules for you to be eligible to claim HRDC. If you want so. So these are the modules and you can get it from us. We are going to share with you after this program. And next, we have Talent Development Academy, looking into how can an organization to look into talent management and also succession planning. So this is a comprehensive. We provide consultancy plus talent development. We build the framework, we customize the competencies for you as well. So this is talent management succession planning, a comprehensive program, and another one which is only a talent development program. And if you have already the talent management succession planning framework in place, running, so you want to have the development program, we could support into that development program as well. So these are some of the programs. We are using the three parts of leadership: leading self, leading others, and also leading the organization. And there are the proposed lists. These are our framework that we have come out, which is going to evolve day by day. It's not going to be static over there. We have also School of Leadership if you're looking into leadership programs. And this is the place that you are going to look into, where there are many programs that we are going to cater in terms of general management, corporate governance, and also top management. So these are merely looking into leadership programs. Putting some list of the programs is there about leadership, challenge of leadership, leap, etc. Everything on leadership, especially we are also looking into digital leadership. That's our focus. And also gig entrepreneurship. So these two is our focus other than it. And we are also looking into having a summer school leadership program in year 2022 for top management and above. So wait for it. Inshallah, we are going to get it better in day by day. So these are the list of the programs. Quite a lot of programs in under leadership. Okay, and we also have our venue, training venue. Let me introduce to you the Academy Port Dickson. The location that we are currently is in Bukit Pelanduk. It's nearby. If you want to identify, it's nearby apa ni? Academy Immigration, Pharma. So that's the part of the Academy DRB-HICOM which we have taken over. It's around 5.84 acres land. It's very nice, cozy, and you can most of the people that look into this place is a kampung life people. There are many facilities and also venue. We have a big hall, 200 packs, pillarless without pillar. We have function rooms of 30 packs, which can be open so you can have that social distancing. We have a smaller room. We have accommodation sufficient for 168 beds and surau for spiritual programs and also recreational programs for you as well. So these are some of the programs. These are some of the venues, pictures in venues that we have, and we have also dorm. We have also chalet, chalet and also twin sharing. Yeah, this is some of the snapshots of our venue. All right, next. So not next. So that's the elements that we are looking into, and for you to have a better understanding, and also if you are looking into how can you see these solutions fit with your requirements, we are providing a free TTI consultation to you. It's a simple link that you can either you want to scan the QR code at the screen now, or you can screenshot this, or it's simple www.dhu.edu.my/LND2022. So this is a form which you can fill in, and we can have a discussion on how these 7 solutions can fit into your L&D growth in the future. Why we are saying this is that by having a discussion, we are not going to bombard you with our programs. We are going to share with you the right program at the right time at the right place. And usually our approach is that we want to understand your situation first, understand the nature of your business, the nature of your problems and also issues, and then let us find the solution for it. Might be it is not training solution, it might also be non-training solution, such as coaching, mentoring, might be it's about reward. So there are many things that we can do. So looking into learning and development, it is very critical and very crucial for us to understand our client, for us to understand you first before we provide the solution. I believe most of our friend as well is doing that, and we are proud enough that most of the trainers is also approaching like that. All right. And yes, collaborate. I'm looking into some feedback here. Yeah, January, February is about online. Yeah, January, February program is online. So this is a free TTI consultation. You can key in or you can scan the QR code here. Yeah, that's the QR code that we are providing. Or this is the dhu.edu.my/LND2022. So that's the part that we are sharing with you. What are some of the solutions that we can provide to you in L&D growth? And now, let us bring back Encik Iskandar. Encik Iskandar, what are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm absorbing everything that you are sharing earlier. It's very
Yeah.
nice place you have, and a lot of programs. I'm sure
Yeah.
you have your hands full for the next year or two.
Yeah, okay, right. I have one question here as well. How do TP can collaborate with your TTI? It's simple. We cannot do everything by ourselves. So we always look into collaboration in terms of training providers. You have your expertise, and we have our programs. We can see how can we collaborate by that perspective. So looking how you can be our training providers, you can be our freelance trainers as well, and looking into making that happen. So Cik Iskandar, challenges and opportunities, that's
Right.
what we have provided as a solution from TTI, Technical Training Institute. And
Right.
now
True.
coming from the practitioner, I'm also a practitioner, you also a practitioner of L&D. Cuma yang lebihnya sebab my Sifu ni dia ada perkataan specialist kan. So so let us give him tough question. Do not give him
Yep.
easy question. Betul tak Cik Iskandar kan? Barulah
Right.
extend kita punya
Betul.
capabilities. So
Betul.
if I cannot answer, I will pass to Cik Iskandar. If I can answer, I pass to Cik Iskandar as well.
If I cannot answer, I'll give to all the professors and doctors here to answer.
Yes, we have many professors and also doctors. We have here Prof. Sofri from USM. There are many Dr. Rose and many doctors and professors looking at us, Cik Iskandar.
Ya, itulah dia. Terus hilang suara sekejap.
Terus hilang je. Baca doa banyak-banyak.
Banyak.
So, we are going to do this interactively. Might be
Correct.
I'm going to chip in, and Encik Iskandar will also share his perspective in L&D challenges and opportunities. So, I'll pass this to you, Encik Iskandar.
All right. Thank you very much, Sheikh Zul. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank DRB-HICOM University of Automotive, and also specifically Sheikh Zul for creating this sharing platform. It's not many people do this. So it's a good opportunity for us, either from the L&D practitioners or the academics, so that we can share our information, share experience in this platform. And imagine us, let's not talk about me yakking away. Imagine ourselves somewhere in Kopitiam. I know it's raining in some places, it's cold, it's wet. Imagine we're at Kopitiam, it's a bit warmer, hot coffee in front of us, roti bakar kaya, that kind of things. And I'm sorry if I'm making some people hungry at the moment, but the whole idea is santai-santai, relax, is having a conversation, all right? And it's also important for us to, the L&D practitioners, I know some of us think highly of our own experience and whatnot. However, my experience tells me is that we need the academic with us because they provide the science in what we do. And because sometimes experience, we're not sure how to explain the things that we do. I mean, it works, but we don't know why it works and how it works. By having the academics doing their research and the background, it provides the science behind what we do, and that's what we are. Somebody is already famished. I'm sorry, my fault, bad boy. All right, so we'll continue with this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is our agenda. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about the world a bit, and what are the trends and challenges, and what about us as L&D. Okay, ada pula tambah roti goyang. Tak payah, cukup. Tak jadi apa kita hari ni.
Kita pun tak makan lagi ni.
Kita pun tak makan lagi, ni bahaya. So let me share a bit about myself. This is me. I born in August 1964. It was interesting for me when the internet came. Only I realized I was born on the day Ian Fleming died. Ian Fleming is the guy who created James Bond, who wrote the books. All right, and fortunate or unfortunately, I'm also a big fan of James Bond. I read all his books. I've seen all his movies, except for the current one, No Time to Die. Tak sempat lagi nak tengok. But all the rest of the movies, at least 4 to 5 times. I'm a bit crazy about those books. All right, I'm married. I have 6 kids. I have 2 menantu perempuan and 3 cucu. All right, today aja dia orang tak masuk ke rumah. I started working 88 and I joined the private sector. So tunjuk gambar lagi senang lah. If you can see this, this is my flow chart of how I look like, where I came from, where I went to school. I was fortunate enough to study US and I brought back. And then because guna duit diorang kan, so I have to join the army. I spent there a few years, 8 years, and I've been there. So that's basically me. So whenever I say I've been in organizations, I've had experience, not necessarily I'm talking about FGV, which is where I am right now. Okay, it could be from someplace else. So let's get started. Let's start from the beginning. I think that's a good place to start. Okay. The world in review. What's in store for us? Something that I like to do this to put things in perspective. L&D sometimes get excited about what they want to do, and sometimes they forget the perspective and what they're doing. So, like for many years, and I'm sure we all know, all organizations go through certain challenges every year for the past many years, whether it's internal or external. If you look at the external part here, the Malaysia's annual GDP, every time there's a drop in the chart, there's a crisis that Malaysia experienced from 1980s to the financial crisis by the stock market. Everywhere we had that. Whether it's internal, we get complacent because we become so good at what we're good, but we don't manage to move on to become great. And we have issues whether should we grow the people first or we should grow the business first. Those internal issues and external issues, and business have to respond to these challenges. And how do we respond is that we have things that we do. Business move, whether we have a certain strategy, we start moving into the SWOT analysis, whether we're going to do red ocean, blue ocean, and now lately I heard there's a thing called pink ocean or something like that. And we have things, and then whether you're talking about VUCA, and talking about porters, how do we analyze this, product lives, all these are tools to help the business manage and respond to the challenges that they're facing. But past couple of years, the single most influential factor impacting the whole world, and you don't get the prize for figuring out what that is. That's COVID. One single thing, this small little virus that's hard, that cannot be seen by the naked eye, somehow managed to disrupt our life. And if you look at this, everything that we talk about, everything that we understand, purple ocean, blue ocean. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So you have this, everything we understand about the politics, the economy, society, technology, the legal environment, and currently we are moving towards this ESG, environment, social, and governance issues that's governing a lot of organizations. Okay, so all this suddenly, point, everything is disrupted. Everything we understand. Sorry for the dramatic, but that's what it is to me. It feels that way. Everything we understand, every books that we had read, everything that we knew about all these things, these factors, suddenly we have to reread them. We have to rewrite them, and we have to manage this. All right. And because of this COVID thing, everything is not what it used to be. Yes, if you look at the report on the left, OECD GDP, there is some optimism. Reports are showing that a lot of CEOs and senior executives and a lot of corporations and companies are beginning to see some form of optimism. And if you have been in, looking around, some of you may be looking around for the sake of just looking around. I do that, especially I look at LinkedIn jobs. It used to be exactly a year ago there are not many jobs, especially in L&D, but lately there's a lot coming out. So that's a sign, okay? And then because of there's a slight demand, the beginning of a demand, then we're going to have this labor mismatch. Don't worry about whether it's US or Malaysia, but it's for us to understand these are the issues that we are going to face, whether we're facing it today or we're going to soon be facing them. All this is to put perspective, all right? And then unemployment is coming up. And what does this mean to us? Even in Malaysia, we have unemployment, one of the highest around. Not as high as what we had in 1997, 88. 88 actually, the data showed in 88 because of the palm oil crisis in 88, 87, 88. But basically, everybody is experiencing globally. So one thing that is consistent is everybody, every think tank, every consultant that you met and you read anywhere is giving out strategies on how to manage your business post COVID-19. Everybody. I subscribe to bunch of things. So everybody's coming out how to see this, how to read, how to manage your life, manage individually, how to manage your mental and everything. However, for us in an organization, in a business, some things are worth noting. All right, despite everybody's like repeating itself and like they're copying and pasting from each other, but some things I would like to bring this to this platform, this discussion is that number one, this is interesting, which I've read. The first trend is coming at deglobalization. If you have read the book by Kenichi Ome some like 30 years ago, that's when Tun Mahathir had this idea about globalization and whatnot. That's what it was. It felt good at that time, but because of COVID, everybody's starting to have some issues about globalization. Why that means is that we're going to have currently we're having these global supply chain challenges. Because of the COVID, things cannot move. We have challenges with food supply and whatnot. Next, because of deglobalization, we have these issues about nationalism, and not issue, but the rising of it, growth and rising of it. And then we start talking about us first. In fact, for us in FGV, even before the COVID, like 3-4 years ago, we've already started, programs to make ourselves self-sustaining in terms of food. If you go to certain places like up north from KL, like Kuala Selangor, Sabak Bernam, Tanjung Karang, you suddenly, for the past year or so, you realize there's a lot more sawah padi coming up. Because we are going there, working with other, not just us, but other organizations, and to help out, bring out the sawah padi coming out. So that because we don't want to be importing too much sawah padi from our overseas, especially from Thailand. Not that we don't like their beras, but it's just that because of this COVID, there's a lot of challenges that's coming up. And the China's geopolitical rise, suddenly China, and we are not that far away from China. In fact, I just read a report, an article saying about one of our academics here who is specializing in geopolitics, mentioned about Malaysia needs to be very careful in terms of the relationship with China. And China is probably the only country that has a growth in their economy. And we are one of those people who contribute, because I'm sure all of us here have bought something during the past 2 years of COVID. Duduk kat rumah, tak tahu apa nak buat, duk pegang telefon, end up buying something from Shopee or Lazada. And I bet you, daripada 10 barang you beli, 7 to 8 items are coming from China. Kan? So, we are helping their economy growth. All right? That's one thing. So bear in mind all these globalizations. So there's a lot of issues, and because of this deglobalization, nationalism, we are not getting the foreign workers, especially for us FGV. We're going to have a lot of challenges. Maybe your industry has. And how do we bring up the people inside? Next, another issue, same article talks about, because of COVID, a lot of things being accelerated. And we'll talk about it later. Accelerated. We had that idea, and accelerated, and in terms of digital behavior, remote working, learning, some of us are old enough to know that, if you talk about it, if this were to happen, this COVID thing were to happen 10 years, not even 10 years, 5 years ago, we're going to have a challenge, because many of the platform and tools like Zoom, eCams that Cik Zul is doing right now, it's not available. And we're going to have, and even online shopping will be difficult. Don't have to think about 10 years ago, just 5 years ago, we can have a bit of a challenge. All this is push. Remember when we had Zoom, we wanted to use Zoom 2 years ago, with a lot of issues, people, hacking in, coming in, because there were no safety measures done during. So all of that has been accelerated, and the future has come today. I remember Cik Zul talking about the gig entrepreneur, the gig economy. Now, put it in perspective, are organizations prepared to transform their organizations to have more gig employees? Currently, you will know that our policies are not so gig friendly yet, because everything has to be an employee full time. You're not allowed to work someplace else. How do you manage them? Are they employees? Those kind of things. All this will have a certain impact to us in the learning and development. Okay. And the disruption of COVID-19, talking about the workers and the workplace, how they manage it, the transformation of the design of the work. Yes, thank you, sir. Rate of each adoption. It's getting faster. Five, transform of organization, design a work design. How do you do that? How do you manage these people? How do you upskill and reskill them? Health and well-being, that's become a topic for us since we have this COVID. And one of the things I learned also, if you look at the bottom right, building human-centric leadership culture, the COVID-19 issue actually brought these two issues together. If you remember 5, 10 years ago, business was very business, performance, performance, performance. I'm not saying they're not employee centric, but they're more into the performance and performance, profitability, revenue, that kind of thing. But because of COVID, the thinking process has changed because the lot of bosses now are involved with this. They're having challenges working at home. They have their kids or grandkids running around the house. How do you manage this? All that. So new technology is coming up. Okay, and all this coming up. And then the learning on the future of learning COVID. This is from India report by Deloitte, which is very interesting. Contingent work, basically the gig economy people, technology, AI, artificial intelligence, data tsunami, all jobs transformed by automation, and then transform automation. There's a job displacement coming from here to there. All right, a change of career is people are now reconsidering. My daughter was graduated in something else, wanted to move into HSC, health and safety, occupational safety and health, and she attended the program at Nayosh Bangi. So I asked her how many people are there. Ramai, 20 odd people, and they have every one session every 2 weeks, and it's filled up. People are moving careers. All right. So imagine HEC was not so sexy back then, 3, 4 years ago. Now it's very sexy. Everybody's going to it. All right. And job landscape. All right. And this is, remember all that changes. We talk about accelerated. This is a prediction by World Economic Forum in 2018. And all this is coming sooner than we expected. The challenge for us is that if you look at this, the emerging, top 10 emerging, emphasis here is mostly roles with data, analysis, analytics capability, and specializations. Previously, it's about the emphasis more on processing, administrative roles, organizing skills. But there's a change. And this thing is coming today. The challenge is with organizations we have today, and you know this we need to develop, we need to start doing it 2 years ago for us to get these people today ready for tomorrow. We cannot be starting today and hoping these people will be ready in January next month. January 2022 starts next month, ladies and gentlemen. It's not next year, like another year. It's just another 2 more weeks to go. We're going to be here, 2022. So all this prediction that we do, that have been done, all this is happening today, right now. And are we ready for this? Okay, so what does all this mean to us in learning and development? Seronok cerita pasal worldview, fine. So, trends and challenges in learning and development in 2022. That's it. So, necessity is the mother of invention. That's what Plato said. All right? Okay? All right? So, necessity is the mother. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Necessity is the mother of invention. True, true. It is the matter. However, I don't think that's an issue. I like to look at from Agatha Christie's point of view. All right, invention, in my opinion, arises directly from idleness and possibly also from laziness. Because if you're lazy, so that's when even I tell my staff, dia orang ni rajin. Some of my staff ni dia rajin, suka buat benda yang sama repetitif. Dia rajin, sanggup lah collect data manually lah apa semua. Tapi dah bila dah kena boleh tak jadi malas sikit? Jangan rajin sangat, jadi pemalas sikit. And if you malas, you start to think, how can I get away with doing this so that then I don't have to do this over and over again? I don't mean malas in terms of not doing it. Malas in the sense that how can I not do this over and over, this repetitive job? Looking for solutions. So I told my staff, this how do you do it? How can you do this? How can you change this? So then the staff start to think, how do I get? Because I want them to be a bit lazy lah. All right. Now, remember we're talking about the changes and all this, the COVID-19 and the future of work and whatnot. Is this a great attrition, people leaving your company, or a great attraction? What is this? What's happening? And you know people are leaving, sometimes not by their own choice, sometimes they're by their choice because of the issues they have in the organization. Because of these challenges, some organizations are beginning to show their true colors, so to speak. They forget about employees. I had a conversation with one of a colleague over here yesterday. He was sharing with one of his friends' company. Despite this banjir tinggi, all right, that company is considering whether the employees should be paying for their laptop yang damaged dalam banjir ni. I'm looking at my colleague. I said, "Excuse me, what company is it?" Cannot mention it. Bad things don't mention. He said, "I agree with you." Can you agree with this? Huh? Dah lah kena banjir. And the company is asking their employees to pay for the damaged laptops. You see, that now companies are beginning to show their colors. And employees are now becoming a bit challenged. All right? Yeah, you're not lazy. So how do we do this? And then skills and learning is the future. How do you do it? And this applies for those who stayed. Lucky for them, who stayed in the company. How do you do that? This is our role now. Who became unemployed because for those who became employed because business cannot do it. How do you unemployed? How do you manage them? They're employed and they become a burden to society. After that, we don't realize that. And then those who needed to be hired or rehired means those employees you let go, and then you have to hire them back. Or new employees. As business gets better, which eventually business will get better. They will change, they will look different, slightly different, but they will be able to hire again. So how do you manage this? What skill sets that we need to manage? What gaps that we have to have? All right. And the future of capability building. Yes, Sheikh Zul just not talking about social and emotional. That's important right now. Remember, I said because of the COVID-19, the challenges again, bosses are beginning and companies beginning to have a sense of empathy with their people. All right, and then we talking about in the same report McKinsey saying about that capability building as a strategic weapon. Are we basically manage to leverage that? Alright. Boleh sir. Boleh. Bayar RM3.5. Tak apalah, kopi dengan roti telur goyang. Boleh.
Sedap je. Oh,
Sempat
dia sempat nak pau tu di belakang.
tak banyak kopi dengan roti goyang je. Kejuaraan boleh kan? Mister boleh kan?
Dia boleh lebih daripada tu lagi. Ni Cik Skandar, just to chip in, macam tengok tadi you say about capability building kan. So I always say to our team there are 5 C's lah kan. 5
Yeah.
C's is about competencies, capability,
Correct.
capacity,
Correct.
character, and also compatibility. I think you also know about this kan.
Yes, right.
That 5 C. So there are people are not only competent, but we also need people that are capable of doing things, right?
Correct. I will share that later. That we have a bit on that one about how to develop your profession, your job,
Yeah.
who you are and whatnot. Yes, which is true. Okay, so that I will talk a little bit about that one. How L&D stands on that one. True, sir. That's one of the
Alright.
challenges that we have. All right.
Great.
And then the complex world of emerging learning technology. This is another world by itself. In short, you can read that. In short, increase and expansion in learning technologies and level of L&D practitioners, digital literacy do not commensurate. Okay, do not commensurate. The learning technology is going for one area, and our L&D people are going a different area. And I have to admit, I'm one of those people who are probably in the dinosaur. I'm a dinosaur waiting time only. But I've already asked, loudly kita, minta maaf ya Cik Zul, sekarang ni saya announce. I've already asked Cik Zul to share with us his savviness in this technology. I have no idea how he does it. One platform goes to YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Can you figure that one out or not? And then all this playing with the technology, so I have asked him, Cik Zul, tolonglah ajar kami tak kerti yang dinosaur ni kan. Tengok pun takut lah. So we'll soon find a date where he will be sharing all this technology, not to teach us basically to do it, the skill based, but have an idea how this thing works and what is available out there. Cik Zul lah, boleh Cik Zul?
Tu pun sama kat sarapan 2 kali.
sarapan 2 kali. Habis kita ni semua gemuk lepas ni. Makan sarapan.
So this is 1NA Wah, saya tak pasti siapa, or asking staff to come to work or attend virtual meetings while the staff have to attend to matters. It happened to my sister. So ini
Uh,
berkenaan dengan
Empathy itulah. We're talking about the
empathy
empathy
kan.
about what's going on. Yes, yes.
Yeah, correct.
That's where
Yeah.
again for organization, if you're not LLND but you are senior management in an organization joining us here, that's the challenge, and this is where the attrition issue factor comes in.
Yeah,
All
correct.
right,
And,
because
and also sometimes people are not leaving because of the work. They are leaving because of their superior. So
correct.
the leader should also have some empathy in terms of managing their staff as well.
Correct, correct. This is something that I mean, it's a classic example research have shown. All these issues are coming up.
Yep, right.
So another trend, okay, this is a bit okay. If you look at this learning trend, yes, Cik Zul shared about his, the DRB-HICOM University and the TTI, the things they want to do. I find it very exciting. A lot of things, and and his program, I think, is divided into two, basically three. One is the technical training, and then one is the soft skills, including the leadership, all those areas, competency, and also the trainers development, which is I find interesting, which I will share a little bit on with the holistic approach of it. But if you look at this, I like this report because if you look at this, it talks about creating a ecosystem. If I'm not talking about TTI. TTI is a different. They are providers. Okay, this different. They are different skill sets, different issues, and they look at things differently. I'm talking about us as L&D practitioner in an organization. Okay, in an organization, if you're you're in the training department or L&D department, most L&D people tend to focus on what courses. Okay, yes, you can start thinking about courses. Please jangan lepas ni cakap lah Iskandar cakap tak ada courses nak bikin. No, no, no. You still need the courses because that's one of the things that you have to deliver. However, when we talk about L&D, things that we need to do right now is to create the ecosystem. Creating the ecosystem, creating the platform, and how you can deliver all this better, faster. And if you can understand that ecosystem, that's when you're partnering with TTI, able to provide you those things that you are not able to do. All right. But your job at the organization is to create the ecosystem. And because you have understand all this, that's when L&D can able to be at the table. Okay. How do you build? And you see, look at number 4, decision making from the ground up. Communities around learning and collaboration, changing room of the classroom. This is all require a certain mature level of the employees. How do you build that maturity? Taking ownership of their learning. And then this is interesting. Design and deliver training for hybrid workforce. We're talking about all this. And I like number 2, continuation of classroom-based training. Therefore, I still have a job. So that's nice to know. Train the entire pool. And this is where we want to train the entire pool. But you know that with the increase on gig economy and gig employees, gig workforce, our L&D's policy doesn't allow for this kind of people because it's always say full-time employees are entitled to go for this, get that. Right. So you're missing out on all these people. Credential, which TTI is doing, getting credentials, accreditation for your program so that you can build, there's a certain structure, you have a credibility to the program, okay? And then AI, artificial intelligence, operations before experience, and the learning operations, together all these areas, you can read the article, you can download it, the full thing, but what it means is that, are we looking at our L&D operations like a business? Are we be able to push through the training? How long does it take for you to develop 1 hour of class or half a day? Okay, if you can develop it faster, better. I'm putting aside Cik Zul's team. They can come up with this half day session probably in 2 to 3 days. But some of us, sebulan tak keluar lagi. So it's not helping us because we want it better and faster. So all these final thoughts in this article says that is doing all it can to support organizations, okay? And the digitized process, how can we keep doing what we're doing better, faster, okay, whether it's technology or not. All this L&D needs to be able to. So these are the issues and challenges that L&D is facing today. And this is happening faster. Remember, I talked about accelerated because of the COVID thing. Business are changing. Okay? Technologies. I'm not going to go here. I'm just sharing you what's going on. Cik Zo will share us later on. Not today lah. One of these days. We'll share about chatbots, mobile learning, and gamification, storytelling within the technology, hybrid learning. What's going on? I remembered some years back, an e-learning company came to see us, and then proposing certain programs online. And then one of the things I asked them is that two things I said. Number one, can your e-learning be accessed by people who don't have network or not? How do you manage them? Because again, like FGB, we have places where they don't have. Okay, let's not talk about network 3G, 4G, whatever it is. Some places we have don't even have FM station. Okay, so how do we do this? Okay, how do we know this? And if we want to implement e-learning, who's going to get this? That's number one. Number two, then I ask them, is your proposal of your programs and interventions better than Google? And you say, what do you mean by Google? Google is intuitive and it's free. Or they started explaining. So now, if you're into e-learning, if you're a training provider, you are into e-learning, something that you need to be able to put into consideration when you're designing your programs. I'll talk a bit later on this one. But is the L&D function cerita tu what we need to do and blah 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 tu seronok cerita tu, tapi cerita dia, is the L&D function ready for the future? That's the question. Before we do that, ask, what do business think about L&D? Not good. Not good. Kita short sendiri kadang-kadang. Not good. They want us to create training that produces business results. And again, their business has changed. Their models have changed. Their product and services have changed. Yet we don't change. What do business leaders think about L&D? We don't engage with the business. L&D don't talk to business people. Okay? We have sometimes some L&D have no idea what's going in the world. This is a challenge. And if you look at real learning endeavor, I'm not putting down any HR people here, please. But somehow, if you look at the HR, since we are L&D is in HR, sometimes we got about, we think like HR, focus on training, short-term, role-based, But if you think about L&D, this is what we need to do. Development, consider the future, individual. And these factors can either be an attrition factor or attraction factor for your organization. And you look at the last line dekat box under L&D itu, individualized and personalized. I was reading an article, it took me a couple of minutes to absorb and process that thing. It talks about mass individualized training. I'm trying to figure out what does that mean. Mass, large group, individualized and personalized training or development. I'm like trying to figure out what, how can you mass individualize? Then it occurred to me, development is individual. How do you do it in mass? If you have 1,000 employees, that means how can you develop programs for each individual quickly? Not easy. Do we have the skill sets? All right, this is from McKinsey. It says, despite companies rely on learning and demand, that's what they do, but often the function itself needs a transformation. And in McKinsey's research, it said most L&D functions today are overly stable to the point of rigidity. What Cik Zul is doing with TTI is very good. He's responsive, changing things, and that's one thing. But the question is, the organizational learning and development people are in itself within the organization are flexible and agile. And learning and development function needs to, do all this. What the business is doing, they need to do this. They need to reimagine their services and product training. They need to replan, recover, seize opportunities. And this is the United States Marine Corps. I used to be in the army, so a bit thingy on that one. So they talk about improvise, adapt, overcome. And you need to talk about disrupt and what's going on. So learning development function needs to start rethinking about how they manage their work. So what do people, so let's put it, what do I mean by, people say, it's kind of, you sound a bit negative about the L&D people. Not really. But so let me ask you, when people say, okay, what do people think, okay, when you say you work in training? I will guarantee you, without you answering, they will probably in their mind that you are in the training administration, which basically talking about processing, getting approval, and organizing training. That's one area. One area. Another one, you are the trainer. That's where you know how to deliver training, what technology, what steps, your adult learning approach, whatever it is. You know how to do that. Your facilitation, your debriefing, a skill set by itself. Most people, when we talk about training, they are somehow focused in these two areas. Most, not a lot. Even in L&D people and HR people, okay, they are very, oh, you're in training, you must be trainer. Oh, you must be good in everything. I'm saying, oh, well, how do you manage to do that? Okay. But if you look at this, we are still very low in competency and maturity in terms of how to develop L&D strategy. What does that mean? I will show you a little bit later on. And I think I'm becoming learning solutions. A good example is like if you look at used to be ASTD, now AATD, they used to have this human HPI or human HPT, human performance improvement. I was exposed to that. I went for the foundation program, but never got certified. The company didn't have money to proceed with it. It's actually expensive. But what we learned is that we go in with that skill set. You go in with the organization, understand what the challenges are, and how do you improve their performance. Another example is from GE, like GE Workout. They have a bunch of people skilled and trained and to go to every business. And when they have challenges, work through them, process it with the organization. It's got nothing to do with training administration. They're not trainers, they're not teaching anybody anything, but they work in and develop learning solution for these people. Since we lack the holistic complementary skills, we are unable to be at the table because organization only see us as administrative or completely downstream, which is the trainer side. We don't do a lot of the upstream work, which is the strategy part. And we've seen not so much. And then the worst part in our organization, we don't have the trainers in our organization. We outsource it. That's the good part. We don't have to work to do that. We don't have to have the skill sets. But however, some organization, oh, you don't have the expertise, so I go to TTI. So, dah jadi benda lain pula, kan? Alright? And then this is evolution as well. You see, we have issues about budget. And because of the COVID, this is in 2019, but the issues accelerated now. Budgets is reduced. We don't have that budget. We don't have the luxury of budget anymore. Okay? Alright? So what is going to happen? What is driving digital learning? Skills gap. How do we actually, people talk about skills gap, skills gap. Do we have the necessary skill sets to be able to measure the gap? Do you have the people to be able to go into the department or a unit or division and say that your people, we have 100 people in this division, I've gone through the process, I know that X number of people are here, another there. Do we have that? Kita duk cerita ni. How do we have all that? Okay. So we need to know how to transform our L&D function and these people. I use this ATCA. Some of you may know. This is what I mean by when I took my master's. I have no idea what this means. When I took my master's, and then I was talking to my lecturer, and then lecturer said, "Oh, the way you're writing your paper is you should be your thesis. You should be thinking about ATCA." I said, "What is ATCA?" This is what I mean by the academic giving you the science in what you do. We want to transform. We need to have a model to help us manage our work, manage the transit, manage the process. So what is the process? By working with your academics, they can give you a way to manage this. This is one example. I'm not asking you to do this. I'm telling you this is one way of doing it. So if you want to transform your L&D, you have to create the awareness and create the desire first. Then you give the knowledge and skills, ability skills. Then you create the reinforcement of doing that. This is just example. This is where academics can help you as practitioners.
Encik Skandar, I think that at CAR pun it's one of the change management
Correct. Correct.
processes. If you
Ah.
if you take ProSci change management, so
Yeah, that's why the ProSci too. This is actually
yeah,
from ProSci.
yeah,
So
correct.
one of my lecturers actually. So you can have
Mm-mm.
many shapes. You can take the quarter pula, whatever. There are like bunch of half a dozen them. So that's what I did my masters on change management. So I have a half a dozen of them.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I'm just showing one. And what I'm saying is that you need to be able to process your work. You want to change. How do you change it? How do you get from now to your future state? How do you do
Yeah.
that?
looking at the L&D people, Cik Skandar,
Mhm.
if you follow that EDCAR model kan, awareness,
Yeah,
desire,
correct,
might be they are also already focusing on that awareness part. They always
correct.
inform people, okay, these are the training programs, these are the calendar program. But the desire part is quite challenging because it's a push and pull factor.
Correct,
Right,
correct. I
push and pull
agree
factor.
100%. I agree.
Whether people is attending a program because of himself or being pushed by the company. So that is L&D needs to think of that. How
Okay.
can we make people being pulled, which they are internally self-driven to bring themselves to improve themselves in terms of their learning. So
Exactly.
that's the issue of desire, and then it comes to knowledge, etc. lah. Yeah.
Agreed 110%, sir. The
Yeah.
challenge with the challenge with a lot of L&D programs, not all, some are very good. They don't seem to solve the problem of the individual or the department. Okay. So that's where, okay, true, buy-in and whatnot. But buy-in is one thing. The buy-in is very simple. What I learned from experience and looking at it, the moment you provide a training that seems to solve their problem, or seem, I put there per seem, I use the word seem, in their mind, it seems to solve their problem as an individual employee or their department, they have a buy-in. They have a desire to learn because they know it's helping them. But if they come in and they come into the classroom because the boss asked them, and then even though it's interesting, and they go back to work and they say that doesn't help me with my work. Why am I here in the first place? We have failed. We have failed as L&D. But for now, I'm trying to focus on the L&D function. Do we have this L&D people? And not talking about technology again, some of these words will disappear. Some of these companies will disappear. I'm not here to tell you should use this technology or that technology, and not here. But what I am saying is that we need to embrace technology, but don't get hung up on all these individual names, because some of these things will disappear. Some will sustain, some will disappear. And you know that. If you've been around, you know that. Some companies will. Some technology, some apps disappear. All right. So again, but the bottom line is for us to embrace technology. All right. And this is HR digital. And you're talking about digital. And it was a good article, good video I watched under LinkedIn Learning. And this lady was sharing about, because that's her job to create the digital HR thingies. And I know this for a fact. When you're talking about digital, the first thing you need to know is manage the people and the processes first. And the processes is governed by the people, so it goes to go together. And I have made that mistake before 20 years ago. Oh, blunder. Nasib baik tak kena potong gaji. All right. So the whole idea is challenging. Is the digital HR is nice, we're looking about the technology, but actually the first thing that needs to be managed is the people and your process. The rest come easy. This is HR. Now look at L&D. Don't worry so much about the details in there. I want you to see. If you look at the left side, the light blue is what is expected, or the priority, the importance they feel for each of the elements. If you can read, fine, but it doesn't matter. But if you look at the purple, side, we are very low, because that's what the actual is. I don't know how they measure it, but we look at it. And the only thing we are good is classroom delivery. And top dekat pukul 2 tu lebih kurang. You look at that. At 2 o'clock ni tu number tu. We are good at classroom delivery. Other than that, another one is learning management. Because remember I said, when we talk about training, it's either managing the training function, processing, budget, those sort of things, making sure policies are implemented and governed well, and delivery. We're not good with the rest of the items. And you can see that. And you look at this, more important, about the same important, less important. Everybody thinks, but it's very important. If you look at the list on the right, the box under the picture on the right, doesn't talk so much about managing training function. It talks about the details. Okay? All this comes in, and understanding that this is what it is. And we are very focused on one area only, which is two areas: managing the training function and delivery. We're very good at that. The rest, we're not so good. Okay?
Dari
And looking
mana,
at,
Cik Skandar, dari mana stats tu?
itu tambah lagi satu pinggan, brother.
Berpinggan-pinggan lah jadinya.
Gemuk lah Iskandar. Nanti we have a separate chat. We have a conversation about this one.
Yeah,
It's all
sure,
there.
sure.
Okay. All right. I forgot to put the link where I got it. Ada nanti kat. I forgot the link. Usually I put the link in there. And this is it. Modern approach. How do we look at learning? Whether it's value focus. We tend to focus on the learner saja. Tapi we value focus. Are we bringing value? Ambil aku breakfast, lunch, dinner tak pergi mana makan. So value focus. And then we're talking about organizational focus. All right? And all this we have to think. How do we position our L&D organization? As I said, TTI has its role. They're delivery. They have delivery things that they have to do. They need to be good. How they manage the delivery part. That's their job. That's their expertise. Let it be. But if you're in the organization punya L&D function, your role is different. All right? Or L&D can try this. Well, you don't change at all and something magical just happens. We wish we could do that. We try this, besok tak ada kerja lah kita kan. So now, what gets measured gets managed and gets improved. What do I mean by this? Okay, this is something that I got into this skill, and this is by this guy, Chris Moore, and then this article came out in 2006, January 2006, about 15, 16 years ago, almost 16 years ago. And when we measure our learning, basically we look at operational excellence and learning effectiveness. Even these two areas pun yang atas tu pun basically the top end saja. Average cost per student, how many days, cost, revenue, how many, those kind of how many days of training they complete. And then the number two pun top end saja. Satisfaction service, progress, how many people have attended. We don't do the bawah tu sikit. Job impact service, pre-work processes, business variation, kan, return on investment, kurang kita buat tu. So if we don't do all this, how do we know our training and our solutions are impacting the business? Remember I said that leaders want training to create training that produces results. How do we do that? Next. The seven, now if you look at this, ladies and gentlemen, you can see this. What are they? You look at the elements. Look at this. Are our training creating our employees to have change readiness, ready to change? Because business is going to change. Business, but the problem is that even L&D cannot change. Macam mana nak suruh orang change kalau kita sendiri tak boleh change? Time to competency. How fast can you get? I use this joke on my staff one time when I first joined FGV. Some of them asked me, boss, how long does a specific program should have? So they were sharing with me a couple of programs. So how long do you think this program should last? That particular program was our new cadet program, new graduate. So they're coming in as planters, okay, to become assistant manager in the plantation. So they said initially it was about 1 year program, and then it was that. So they asked me, how long should this program be? So I said them very easy. If it's up to me, I will look at the faces of this new fresh graduate. I sapu muka dia orang, I pop sekali kat dahi dia orang, they become competent like that. Awak nak pergi spend sampai 1 tahun nak train dia orang? Kalau boleh, but you know it's not going to work. So they always joke with me by saying that kalau tanya Cik Skandar kan dia dah tampar yang muka budak-budak ni kan, kau jangan tanya. We need to be able to understand how can we do it better, faster. Time to competency. Workforce proficiency. How good are they? We at L&D. Look at us alone. Tak payah cerita orang lain. Us alone. How proficient are we? Skills gap. We talk about skills gap, cantik, but what are the skills that we want to find out? What's our benchmark? Okay? And now, knowing all that, so how do you build that strategy? Itu the skill set lain. How do you build an L&D strategy? We in the L&D. So when I talk to people, even everywhere I go, bila L&D strategy, you know what we do? We go by, kita pecah jadi 12 bulan, that particular year for next year. I'm sure some of you have done this. If you have, I'm so sorry not to pick on you, but I'm sure you have done this. And then you look at this, you look at it. You bagi 12 bulan, you dah plug in khusus yang you nak letak. You dah plug in khusus. And then you jumpa Cik Zul, pergi TTI, cik, what program? Dah. I'm not saying the programs are wrong. What I am saying is that, is it supporting your business? First, ask what the knowledge and skills required, not the kursus. The kursus will be supporting the knowledge and skills. But first, we need to know what the knowledge and skills. And we are asking the what knowledge and skills. The knowledge and skills should be what the business needs in the year 1, year 2, year 3. All right? I give an example lah, simple. And then only you know what knowledge and skills to support it. Contohnya lah, simple contoh. By year 2, your business wants to go to Somalia lah, contohnya. Contoh. Want to go to Somalia. By year 2. Now, kalau we don't understand the business strategy, what happens? Masuk year 2, baru kita dah cari-cari, siapa kita nak hantar orang pergi kursus belajar cakap Somalia ni? Kan? Somali ni siapa nak belajar ni? Mana ada orang belajar language in 2 to 3 months? And then, business will say, you have failed as L&D because you did not prepare your employees. Pula kita lah kena. Memanglah kita kena. But if you know their strategy, you already said, you can say, boss, by year 2, you want to go to Somalia. You know that you don't want outside people to be, you want internal staff to be able to go to Somalia to do the work over there. We need to train them in Somali language. To do that, it takes about 1 year. I've already checked. So their program starts in year 1, boss, not next year. So I need the money for you this year. This is what means strategy. You're already planning ahead what's going to happen year 2, year 3. Because come year 2, they want it. They want the skill set there. Bukan masa tu baru nak train. Year 3. You see, this is what I mean by strategy. Tapi ramai L&D people, ramai I say, some are very good. They're very good. Even I learn from some of them. But what I'm saying is that they go by kursus apa nak buat for that year and not supporting the business. And that's why they're creating the business result tu tak ada.
Cik Skandar.
Yes, saya. You terpadam. Cik Zul, tak dengar suara.
Okay, looking into what you have shared. This is really common L&D issues. So
Correct.
when a training provider comes and meet L&D, so the L&D will say, okay, please give us your training calendar.
Correct.
Or what do you have
Yes.
in year 2022? So
Betul.
actually it is supposed to be the reverse way, which is
Correct.
the L&D should play an important role in determining what are the programs for the organization to attend or for their employees to attend, rather than depending to the training provider.
Betul.
So that's why we provide training calendar. We also provide monthly programs, but it
Correct.
still depends to the L&D. So we really hope that when we meet L&D, so L&D can share with us what are their problems and also issues, then we provide solution. If not, maybe you can pick and choose from the programs. But the right, I believe, based on what you have presented, what you have shared, it's about the L&D should play the role of determining what are the programs. So let's say if the training provider comes to you and they say, okay, we have this, we don't need this program. So you should have that strength to say that.
Betul. So this is what I mean by, okay, you have created, you know the knowledge and skills required for this year 1, this month, whatever. You already developed it. You already understand because the business want it and you know it takes a while. So orang yang mungkin nak in October, you already started in February or March because you know it takes 6 months to plan. Alright? So you know the knowledge and skill. Correct. And then bila vendors, training providers datang daripada macam TTI, anywhere else, they come in, even though they give a set training, dia orang mana tahu masalah kita.
Betul.
Janganlah cakap you TTI takkan tak tahu masalah kita. Saya dekat FGV pula dah dia orang kena. Tak boleh lah. They're not privy to our challenges.
Yeah.
So when you go, you look at dia punya calendar. You look at the calendar cakap, Cik Zul, you punya program ni kan seems to fit our needs lah. Of course we need to customize. Ada some elements we don't need tapi kita nak tambah. Boleh tak? That's what you do.
Yeah.
Bukan ambil tu macam pergi cafeteria tu tampal tak boleh.
Yeah. Correct.
So this is, but then because you're doing it, you are supporting your business. Your business will say, you can tell your business, boss, you need to run this year, not next year. Next year you nak pakai dah. Then your boss will say, betul juga. You know what skill and you know what you need. Those are the things that makes your L&D a bit better than the rest of them outside.
Yeah, that's the moving forward.
Okay. So, what are the competencies of I'm not here, so you need to know. As L&D, you need to know. You need to do your research. This is what I mean by working with the academic. You need to do some research. Kita kadang practitioner mana ada masa nak cari-cari benda ni. Orang minta, training aku dah siap ke belum? Dah hantar ke belum? Dah dapat approval? Budget mana? Classroom tak siap lagi. Participant lari. All that phone calls coming in. We know, we've been doing it. We know what we're talking about. But the thing is okay, TNA tu lagi cerita. Lagi satu cerita. Personally, I would not advise you to do TNA. Alright? Personally and professionally, there's another way of doing it. If you do TNA, dia jadi serabut nanti. It's a whole new challenge by itself. It should be based on the organisation. Bila TNA ni ramai orang hantar borang. I work with one organisation, tiba-tiba nak kelas tahfiz Quran. I'm not against tahfiz Quran. We need to do that. Bukan tahfiz, kelas mengaji. Okay? So, tajwid. Kelas tajwid. What was the word? Kelas tajwid. I'm like, ni TNA tau. So again, remember I said the maturity, a maturity of the organisation needs to come. And the competency and the competent and the capability. Do you have that? All right? So these are the challenges. You can see the skill sets have changed from 2015 to 2020. And if you look at the picture on the left, you see some things have low priority, low skills, and then no demand. These are the things we need to tell the business. Now, I have a caveat for this. If your organization does not see the future, you have a challenge. Because your business, your organization is now stuck in the old mode. Macam tadi Cik Zul cakap, about the digital leadership, IR 4.0. Ada juga bosses don't know what is IR 4.0. They know think about automation, AI. We're not asking them to become expert in AI and automation. What we understand is how do you leverage this AI and automation, IR 4.0 to move their industry and their business forward. And that's what we want. We don't have to be an expert in it because you're the boss. You don't have to be an expert. All right? So these are the issues that we have to be as a L&D. Okay? And then what it means is that, remember I said we have challenges. COVID-19 has created, drop a nuclear bomb on us. We don't feel it, but it's there. Okay? We don't feel the heat, we don't get burned, but it's there. People are dying left and right. And that's the challenge. The world is changing. The business world is changing. Everything is changing. If everything else out there, consumer habits are changing, demographics are changing, everything is changing, but L&D doesn't want to change. Kita buat macam inilah. Policy cakap. Okay, we have a challenge. Be the subject matter expert. Okay, of course, we don't want to have this kind of subject matter expert lah. The clueless, the controversial, by absent without leaving AWOL ni, into all that busy bee SME. We don't want to be that. What we want is that for you to be good, so good that people cannot ignore you. How do you do that? Okay, lifelong learning. Now, the challenge I read is, kita ni orang L&D ni duk sibuk, duk train orang. Kita sendiri not train. If there are bosses in here, I humbly ask you, please send your people for training. I humbly ask, you're training people for training. All right? Because somehow the organization have this skewed idea that if you're in training, you're the expert. I know, I met some HR people. Oh, Iskandar, you training. Boleh lah train. Tiba-tiba boleh train lah this. Technical training. You boleh lah. You training people, boleh lah training. I feel like slapping these people. Tiba-tiba je. You know my background apa? No, you training what? Kalau you training, you boleh buat. Okay, ini HR people cakap ni. So, they have a skewed idea about what training people do. But what I am saying is that sending people to develop how to identify skill gaps, how to do this and that, the technical part of it.
Just sekadar, so I just want to trigger on what you have said on L&D conducting training for their people. But they are not being trained.
Betul.
The L&D is not being trained. Either the organisation is not giving opportunity for them to be trained, or
Puan Rafidah tu gelak seronok dia gelak tu.
or the boss is not giving opportunity for them to be trained. It's simple like this lah, Cik Sinda. If you cannot send people for training, you conduct the training. Or Betul. You as the leader, train your people, coach your people, give guidance and give direction, the right direction for them to do things. We cannot depending on the employees alone for them to search in the internet, Google, etc. But
Betul.
that's where coaching skills is very important. That's what I look at, because most of the L&D sibuk sangat conducting training, arranging training, sampai diri sendiri pun is not
Betul.
being
Betul.
developed.
Betul.
So I think that's what we need. That's what we need. We need our people to be trained. Either if you cannot send people for training, you train
Betul. Betul.
your people. And I hope that organization can look into this training. There is no way that we can say, oh, training is not important, because
No.
by providing training, by attending training, they develop themselves, and eventually it provides contributes to the strategies of the business. Okay.
Agreed. Agreed, sir. And for those, ini saya punya trick, and I told
Yeah.
my staff many times, you in the training department, you all ni kan kancing gigi. You have all the opportunities to learn. You organize class. Betul. Duduk dalam kelas tu. You cakap, bos saya nak organize kelas tu. You go and organize, you duduk dalam kelas tu. You learn. Cakap, saya tak participant. Who cares? You sit in the class. Dia cerita pasal coaching skills. Padahal you bukan participant. Dia participant pergi kat manager lain kan, bos-bos lain. You executive, you duduk dalam tu, you belajar, you pandang. And then you borak dengan trainers tu. So, I'm not the participant, but I'm very interested. How do you do this? You tanya, jangan saya you angkat tangan sekali bukan participant. After that, and I will guarantee you, your trainers will love you because you are interested. You tak tahu pasal project management. You tak tahu pasal apa. Ada kelas, you duduk dalam tu. You belajar. And you have all this. Orang macam dekat Cik Zoom inside TTI, you have plenty of classes. If you duduk dalam tu, you cakap, aku tak tahulah pasal benda ni. Duduklah seronok. How to do effective writing, you duduk. How to become facilitator, you tak masuk dalam kelas, you duduk. You tengok, you belajar. It's fine. Nobody is going to say, pasal kau duduk dalam kelas ni. Nobody. No, not your trainers pun. Nobody is going to say, what are you doing in here? This is what I mean. Orang training, you have so much opportunity out there. This is what I mean. We have the challenges, but we are not grabbing that opportunity that we have in front of us. Okay? Yes, Puan Rafida, menyelam sambil minum. Especially bila jaga training, you dapat makan sekali. Definitely.
Kalau face to face.
Kalau face to face, kalau online, macam ni lah, Iskandar telan air sendiri je. Air
Online punya
kosong je.
stranger lah.
Pasal duk tunggu roti goyang tu tak sampai-sampai lagi.
Tak apa, kita cari juara ni, suruh bawa goyang.
Yeah. So how do you be that? So to be good, when I say profession, because one of the challenges in organization, which I also mentioned to HRDC, HRDC has a big agenda. Okay, they want to grow, become a nation of developed workforce, higher productivity, skilled workforce. To do that, the strongest chain is the weakest link. And the weakest link, I believe, is the L&D people, which I told to HRDC. Because we are not able to capture all this information and leverage all this, or the skill sets, the requirement. We are not able. We're not able to think strategic. We need to know strategic. Operational tu kita dah terror, but it's still there. You're important. You're good. I'm not going to go there. You know about trends and all what's going on, the trend and the tools. Remember? Itu Cik Zul ni. All the tools and everything. And then we need to understand our organization, the business is going on. Where are we going? Are we in a growing industry, or are we going to be a declining industry? How do we manage that? How do we tell people? Are we going transformation or not? These are the things we need to know as a profession. Having that said, okay, we're going to have a case study. Because dah masuk 1 jam, nanti kan Cik Zul marah saya. Dia potong tiba-tiba, saya cakap sorang-sorang je kan. Okay, let's take about a case study. Let's say you as L&D professional, you need to develop the workforce future readiness for the next 5 years. Fair enough? Ladies and gentlemen? Okay? Okay. Kan? Yes, until if they go, okay, fine. Betul. Yeah, so you have that. How do you, this is your case study, yeah? You, as your job, you're in the L&D, your job is to develop the workforce for future readiness next 5 years. You got that? We have 22 sampai 26. Fair enough? The current state, the future state, you have that. What are the factors? We're not going to go there. There are factors for the business, or factors for L&D. Now, how do you process this for L&D to support the business? Next question, how do we leverage this to raise our level of competency and credibility? That's the next question that we need to ask ourselves. Remember, I know some of you come to this talk, you want to a specific program lah, technology lah, specific initiative so that you can jumpstart your L&D program. But you don't need all that. Yes, it's nice to have them, but the thinking process should be, how can I help the business for the next 5 years? And therefore making you relevant for the next 5 years. How do we do this? Okay? Now, I know you'll start to think, because you might be doing this for your business. It's fine, it's good. How do you do this? Now, let me throw a spanner. And this is the year 2022 though. This is what I mean by 2022 is the year you make an impact. Because business have changed. For the past couple of years, your business dah tonggang terbalik. Even for TTI, student tak ada. Tak boleh nak masuk, bukan student tak ada, student tak boleh masuk. And I'm sure some of our training partners here are having challenges because people cannot run the program and you have to upskill yourself doing technology, online training. Tak reti pun buatlah, redah jugalah. Macam mana nak buat? Buat je lah. My wife is a kindergarten teacher. She owns a kindergarten and she's a teacher. I remember the first few months of last year. Masa March lagi, the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks tu still okay, still not sure what's going on. Masuk April, kesian dia dengan cikgu-cikgu dia semua tidur 3-4 pagi. How to use Google Classroom, how to use Google Meet, how to pay for it pun tak reti, how to design your classes, 3-4 pagi. Kelas start pukul 8. Of course lah, kadang-kadang yang panggil kita pun Allah, kita pun gelap sama belajar juga. Oh, you kena buat ni. Betul lah, salah lah. Oh, macam mana you kenapa hang pula? Alamak, aduh. How to do that? They learn. Now, we have all that challenges. 2022, ladies and gentlemen, for L&D profession is year you can make an impact. Start doing that. Now, I'm going to throw a spanner to you. Let's look at this. Workforce readiness for the next year. Again, I'm talking about this. Now, let's look at 2026 pula. Tadi 2022. Let's look at 2026. Then you will realize L&D strategy will depend on the employees, recruitment strategy, skill sets that they have, your reward strategy. And then we realize also, if you look at this properly, the people we recruit by year 2026 are those kids in Form 1 this year. Yang kita nak collect graduates and whatnot will be the university this year. What are they thinking? What's the thinking process they have? What is the pay expectation? What is the attracting them? So now, tadi you dah cerita lain tu. I'm sure you have something on previous slide, you have something in your mind. Now, that's why I said I'm throwing this spanner to you. What will your L&D strategy be right now? Think about it. What's your L&D strategy? I'm sure it has changed from the previous slide when I asked you earlier. For the L&D function, for yourself and other L&D practitioners within your L&D department, what the skill sets you require now? What is the thinking process that you have? Dah lain kan? Alright? So suddenly you realize, now you have to work with the universities. Nak tanya, Prof, you all ajar student-student ni ajar apa sebenarnya? Because we want to prepare these kids so that we know when these kids come to the workforce, we have programs ready for them. Because whatever the universities are teaching, mana boleh 100% fit, tak ada dalam dunia ni. So they have given them a certain skill sets. Now, how can you build on that skill sets provided by the universities and build on it? How can you use that foundation that was given by universities? So now your thinking process, program apa nak buat tu? Now that you're thinking, that's good. And then remember, I'm talking about gamification. Remember all that technology? Those kids in school today yang Form 1 yang masuk universiti tu, you know that they are mostly online learning. Remember, tadika pun dah online. Their learning styles, demographically understanding is all mostly online. I'm not saying they don't have face-to-face. They're online. Everything is online. If you're not ready by 20, because you want to build it, you want to build that ecosystem, doesn't take you overnight, not even 1 year. It takes you in the next 3 to 4 years. So by the time you get to the 5th year, your organization is ready to receive these kids. So this one I mean by, is this an attrition factor or an attraction factor? Something that we need to think about. Dah jadi bunyi lain kan? So now when you think about this, am I talking about programs? Am I talking about what courses you need? No. understanding those needs first, then you realize, oh, I need my bosses to know about digital lah. Dah baru timbul digital. Baru jumpa TTI. Cik Zul, you punya digital leadership tu kita kena buat sekarang lah. Sebab kita ada this, baru masuk. Oh, kalau tidak, tak jadi benda ni. See? Currently, if you don't have that thinking, you might say, why you want to do digital? Bos-bos buat apa? You don't have that. Okay? Yes, visual learning. Mana bite size? That's why yang micro learning tu is very important. Because kids, okay, macam ni lah. Kita yang adult pun, saya nak bercakap 1 jam pun you all dah goyang-goyang ni. Ini yang orang lain, yang younger generation. Tak adalah main tu.
Tu bukan goyang, menari.
So, to recap everything, because we have only 1 hour, dan itu benda terlanjur, key takeaways. L&D needs to be able to manage the business. Not manage and driving the business, but manage the information from the business. What their goals are, their direction, strategies, and understanding their affordability. Remember, not all business did very well past couple of years. They have some challenges. So whatever you want to do in the L&D function, your products, your services, your process platforms, ecosystem, you need to look at the affordability. Kan? We wish we can have all the BMWs or the Mercedes-Benz or whatever it is, the Bentleys, Aston Martin. We all want that. But then we have to ask ourselves, can we afford it? What's the next best thing that we can have? And L&D should be able to provide that recommendation. Kita tak boleh lantak tak meja saying that, boss, ini aja, it's going to cost you 35 million. Hello, brother, kita untung pun 35 million. Kau nak ambil semua ke 35 million tu? Doesn't work that way. You know that. So we need to have a sense of empathy with the business. All right? And what are the products? That's L&D function, ecosystem. Then you as L&D, what the knowledge and skills you require to be able to do the L&D function and support the business. What knowledge, skills, and experience and mindset? If you have people who don't know how to develop programs, you send them for TTL training ada. If they're not facilitator, their job is to do what? I want them to be good in analyzing problems in the business so that we can, because business pun kadang-kadang, because they're so into it, they don't see their problems. So how do you manage it? Okay? Yes, betul. So used to icon-driven app. So you have all that. So these are the things we need to be able to manage our audience, manage our business, so that, remember, awareness and desire, we create a desire for our people to learn. That's number 1. And number 2, business see results impacting their business. And that's where we get ourselves to be at the table. Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, the future is always the great frontier. Moving into the future is challenging, yet it presents some worthwhile opportunities for us. So I know I do apologize. I know some of you are looking for what technology you're going to share. You can use this app, this learning management system. This is good for you. It can solve all your problems. No. My contention right now, from my point of view, the biggest challenge for L&D is us. And those are the challenges. We have business challenges. We have L&D challenges. What are we going to do about it? All right? How do we upskill ourselves? How do we create that? All right? And I'm sure all of you agree this. In the last quarter century, the workload of executive, because it's American, because it came out in Harvard Business Review, has greatly increased. The top manager has new functions that cannot possibly be delegated completely. Businesses have grown in size, in complexity, and geographical coverage. Betul? The duties and problems of the top executive has increased commensurately. Betul, ladies and gentlemen? Everybody, especially with the COVID. Betul? Agreed? Everybody disagree with me? This is what's going on with our life currently. All right? Agree this statement. Betul? This statement, I'm sure everybody agree. Now, I'm going to throw a spanner to you guys. Ding! This quote was made, this article came out in 1956. Not 2006, not 2016, 1956. Predates our Merdeka Day. All right? So the question is then, for us to understand that there's always this challenge. It's been going on for many, many years, for the past almost 7 decades. Okay, 60 odd years, 65 years we've been around. This challenge has always been there. People always thought that this is something new. This is not new. Change is always there. We know that. So the question is, as LND, are we supporting the business or are we merely administering saja? Are we part of the solution or are we just there? That's the challenge that we have. So again, to recap, again, we have all that challenges with the COVID, the business a changing model, even FGV dulu kelapa sawit sekarang dah move into sawah padi lah masuk, nenas lah masuk, susu masuk, because we want to move into sustaining business. Alright? Kelapa sawit have its own problem by itself, not current session. So how do we move that? How do we get people? So our training now needs to move from upstream, which is pokok kelapa sawit, to downstream. Technical streaming, how to develop product development, food technologies, different skill set, different business. All right, different business. And all this needs to change. And this is what we need to do. Seizing the opportunity, grabbing it, despite all the challenges, how do we grab them? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, sudah terbabas 20 minit. Okay, we are done for this session. Any questions?
Yeah, questions might be coming from the chat, tapi tak ada lagi setakat ni. I think some of the questions have been answered along the line kan.
Betul.
Interesting, Cik Iskandar. It's about how we can push our L&D to another level. It's very important. And taking charge. Take charge of the L&D of their own organisation rather than depending on third parties or other parties. So
Betul.
we really appreciate, Cik Iskandar, if we go and meet any organisation. We hope that organisation is sharing with us their problems and issues so that we can provide the right solutions.
Correct.
There are some of the training providers is doing that, and some of them is also doing the reverse way. They are thinking about macam kedai runcit lah, the list of programs, and just attend it, which is we need to move from that perspective lah.
Correct. The thing is the training providers such as yourself, yes, you need to create the calendar. Sometimes it helps to trigger certain things in us. That it's fine, okay? But from the organization point of view, we need to know what we need. Knowing what we need, so because budget bukan semua, we don't have that many budget. Budget pun dah lah kena potong.
Betul.
So we need to be able to be prudent and effective in using our budget. Okay?
Yeah, and very interesting and enlightening. Must have breakfast, sambung lunch, terus minum petang.
Ini brother aku ni, kita cerita kemudian lah makan.
Asyik kita makan je kan. Tapi that's the insights from Cik Iskandar, and we really appreciate your inputs and sharing, Cik Iskandar. And
Alright, thank you.
This kind of information and sharing is very important for us to expand our knowledge and also exposure in our training line kan. And
Yes.
And TTI also, we have that 7 solutions. That's why we have a wide solutions for them to choose. So we are not providing only one. We are providing 7 for you to choose whichever that suits your requirements, not ours.
Betul.
So Cik Iskandar, you can share the slide.
Boleh. Nanti I clean up sikit and then I will buang mana yang redundant tu, yang overlapping tu, and then I will give it to you. No problem, sir. Small matter.
Correct. So ni lah kita guna form ni, this particular form. I hope that everybody can fill in, can click the link and fill in the form, even though this form is supposed to be a form that we want to provide consultation to you. So once we got the form, we got your email address, and we got your details, we are going to email to you the slide that Encik Iskandar will share with us nanti. So thank you very much, Encik Iskandar.
Thank you all.
Very great sharing.
Thank you for this platform. Thank you all for that comments and question and the breakfast and the lunch and the tea and the dinner tu. Just kidding.
Correct. So
but thank you.
Yeah, hopefully we can have more sessions with you, Encik Iskandar. Because L&D is not only now, is going to evolve year by year, every minute, every second.
Correct.
and hopefully we can make ourselves better, a better person, and we wish
Yeah.
everybody in this session a greater success in future. So thank
Yeah.
you very much Cik Iskandar. A big
Thank
applause
you.
to Cik Iskandar.
Thank
Ya,
you
kita
all.
lagi.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for. Sorry, I extended a few minutes,
It's
20 minutes to be
okay.
exact.
Tak ada
So, but
issue.
I hope it helps you.
Alright. Thank you very much. So this is the end of our session, and thank you very
Right.
much. There's a lot of thank you over here. Just playing down some chats here.
Mm-hmm.
And alright. So
All right.
we look forward for our
Inshallah.
next session,
Inshallah. Inshallah.
and hopefully this technology will keep up with us.
I'm waiting
Hopefully.
for your session pula, Cik Zul, the technology.
Ya lah kan. Jadi we will see about that nanti.
Okay.
Hopefully we can do many things together.
All right.
And people outside there in Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, thank you very much for your attention, and
Thank you for your
also
time. Thank you for your time.
making this. We'll meet again in future. Hopefully you provide your email so that we can always update you with the programs, with the sessions. Most important is for us to keep improving day by day, at least 1% every day. We need to improve, becoming a better person.
Good.
Inshallah.
Yep. Inshallah.
Right.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'll end this session. Thank you.
Thank
Assalamualaikum
you.
warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
taala
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.